The bleeding stops at 10. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Clear the Ice, the Flyers post-game show here on the Edge of Philly Sports Network with your boy, Matty B. Fresh off of the heels of a 3-1 victory over the New York Islanders. That's right, I said it, a 3-1 victory. Yeah, the Flyers finally get off the schneid, snapping the 10-game winless streak, and doing it emphatically tonight. Tonight was a great game. If you had the opportunity to watch that game from start to finish, you saw some really good hockey. Some of the best hockey the Flyers played all season. They came out chippy, edgy. Obviously, some of the emotional drama of the Saturday night game in New York or on the island kind of bubbled over as we kind of thought it would be heading into this game. Two fights within the first 20 seconds that set the tone or sent the message or, I don't know, finished off the message from a couple nights ago. But the Flyers got it going quickly. From that point on, they played a really good game, but they would find themselves in a very, very, usual spot, and that would be down. Um, this team is fast starts are so vital for this hockey team. They cannot afford to get off the slow starts, but they found themselves down early in this game, 1-0. So you had the two fights to start the game off. And then the Flyers committed a stupid penalty. It was on and who got that penalty? But it was a really dumb slashing penalty. Then the Flyers committed yet another penalty, an interference call on Ristolainen. Found themselves down 5-3 or 5-3. The Islanders did cash in on that power play early in the game, and then and it was from there you kind of thought, okay, here we go again. What can we do here? Why do we always have to come off to get off to a very emotional start? There's two fights, and then commit two very stupid penalties, and the Flyers found themselves down 1-0. But that would be it. That would be all the scoring the Islanders would have on the night as the Flyers handled their business tonight in the tune of 3-1, snapping the 10-game winless streak. Let's now head over to the center in South Philadelphia. Now, I hope this works, because the last couple of nights I haven't been able to get the audio right. But let's hear what John Tortorella had to say post-game. Oh, sorry about that. That was it. It was just a little 30-second clip, but John pretty much said it. They got the the fights out of the way early on, but then they committed two really stupid penalties, found themselves down 5-3, gave up the power play goal, but then they responded, and they once again showed that character. They got a lift to start the game. Scott Laughton then returned to the lineup. Hopefully, Cam Atkinson's going to be making his way back here on Thursday. And it showed. The Flyers played with a little bit more lift and lilt, and they pressured the Islanders. They got the equalizer goal from Travis Sanheim on a shorthanded goal, which was interesting to see. This team has struggled mightily on the power play lately, but they kind of answered the bell with a shorthanded goal. Sanheim to tie it up at 1, and then the Flyers would go on to make it 2-1. And then at the end of the game, Kevin Hayes would net the empty netter to make it 3-1, and that's how you had the Flyers with the victory today. Let's go inside the numbers, shall we? A little bit on this, as I mentioned. Flyers 3-1, snapping their 10-game winless streak for the night on shots. The Flyers did outshoot the Islanders 33-24. I have been chronicling that stat since really for the last couple of weeks now. The Flyers have done an outstanding job in stabilizing the shots, the shots against or shots for, or the shots against and the shots for on them this season. Now for the season, they have 664 shots for, and there are 751 against. Again, tonight they outshoot the Islanders 33-21. 33-24. Mentioned on the power play, Flyers were 0 for 2 on their power play opportunities. Islanders were 1 for 4. The Flyers did net a shorthanded goal, but now on the power play, 10 for 71. That is just that's obviously not going to cut it for this team. They started the season out pretty promising on the power play, but they've really not done well lately. 14% effective rate for the season. Flyers now 8-10-5 on their Tortorella as well. And your stars of the night, Lucas Sedlak. That's right, man. The pickup from the Colorado Avalanche is your number one star. He had a solid game, 2 assists. Carter Hart, an outstanding game in the net. Was really concerned about that first goal, but how can you be concerned about a 5-on-3? They were 2 men down. Carter Hart gave up a goal there, but he was solid the rest of the way. 23 saves. Kevin Hayes, your number 3 star, 2 goals. He had the goal. He had the game winner at 2-1, and then he had the icing or the icer game or goal at 3-1, the empty netter at the end, and there you have 3-1 Flyers. And it feels good, doesn't it? It feels good to break the streak. It feels good to get back up on that plus side. It's confusing. It's frustrating. And Ellis chimes in. Yes, it's about time for a win. Yes, it is, Ellis. It is beyond time for a win. And interesting stat, though, for you folks. So the Flyers are now 23 games into their season. If you guys recall, they were 22 games into their season last year when they fired AV. And he was fired when the Flyers were sporting an 8-10-4 record. Flyers are sporting an 8-10-5 record through 23 games this season. Obviously, different circumstances involving 2 different coaches. Different circumstances, but the same result. The team is pretty much the same as it was last year. And as you recall, the Flyers were enduring, I believe it was a 10-game winless streak at this point last season as well. So a little review back to a year ago and to really kind of put things in a scary context that this team has not done anything to improve themselves in 1 year as they fired AV 22 games into last season with pretty much the same exact record that Tortorella has now. But that's not that. Listen, they won. I'll take it. I'll take this win easy. It was beyond due. They've showed some character tonight. They got Scott Laughton back. Hopefully on Thursday night when the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we're going to need them, Cam Atkinson returns. And then potentially, we're looking maybe early next week, we get Konechny back. We could be having something, we could have almost a team. JVR is apparently getting closer as well. So December looks pretty promising for the Flyers right now as they are getting some players back. Sean Couturier continues to be that wild card. Don't expect to see him until about the January, potentially February timeframe. And that's if the season is even more salvageable at that point. Maybe he would be served better with sitting out the rest of the year. But the injury front is definitely positive news that some of these players are getting ready to come back. Igor Zamula, who was talked about a lot by John Tortorella pregame, getting an opportunity tonight, being called up from Lehigh Valley, played really well, actually played extremely well. Max Wilhelm with a very bad turnover, but Zamula saved the day. So a promising start for him, as it looks like Zamula is going to be given an extended period or an extended look at by the Flyers as they try to figure out, again, who is going to be with this thing going forward in the future, next season and beyond. 3-1 Flyers with the victory tonight. 8-10-5 now on the season. Let's check in on our boy Connor Bednar. The Connor Bednar Watch here on the Clear the Ice program, sponsored by me. Connor's 24 games into his season, 22 goals, 31 assists, 53 penalty minutes. 53 points, 32 penalty minutes, and that plus minus is back up to that gaudy 13. It had fallen a little bit over the last 10 days. It was down to 7, but in the course, literally over the last 5 days, it has gone from 7 to 13. So Connor continues to impress at Major Junior Hockey. Flyers with their 3 goals tonight and now 56 goals on the season, averages out a little less than 2.5 a game. They gave up 1 goal tonight, 75 now given up on the season. That's a little bit over 3 a game. That's still obviously not going to do it. They got to, NHL teams got to score at least 3 goals a game. Flyers are obviously struggling in that category, and that's going to be a struggle for them all season as they're just trying desperately to find some offense somewhere. Tonight, a big positive in that Kevin Hayes 2 goals as the Flyers win 3-1. And Kevin Hayes, who's been under a lot of criticism. There's been some reports that he's in the doghouse with John Tortorella. I've myself said that I'm really confused about Kevin Hayes' role in this team. He is one of those veteran players. He is one of those NHL elders. Why is he not wearing the C for this team? What is going on there? What is the relationship between player and coach? But Kevin Hayes with a huge game tonight. If anything, at a minimum, maybe, advertising himself for potential trade partners as he gets 2 goals for the Flyers as they find their way to a victory 3-1. Don't forget, folks, the next up for the Flyers is another home game. Flyers are in the midst of a 4-game homestand. And the game this homestand will continue on Thursday against Tampa. And we'll be back after that game to bring you all the hats on the post-game show. Let's pay some bills now and hear about some great things coming up in the very near future.
Hey everybody, Joey from Edge of Philly Sports here. I just want to take a minute and let you all in on a very special thing that is happening coming up on December 9th. It's annual. It's something that is very special to all of us at the EOP Network. And this year we're getting involved. We're helping donate. We're collecting toys, but that's outside of everything. It is December 9th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 777 Sproul Road in Springfield, PA. It is the Sassy Massy Toy Drive. And of course, it's being presented by the Delco Group. Now, you know where it is. It's right next to the Staples, the Giants right there. And let's not act like you don't all know where the Springfield Ale House is. So come on by, drop off some toys, have a drink, some food, bring the kids. Santa's going to be there, reindeer, bouncy house. It is the whole, what they do for this thing is just top notch. And they bring it every year. And this year, we're asking all of you to bring it as well. This is the Sassy Massy Toy Drive presented by the Delco Group. They do a bang-up job. And they hand-deliver all the toys to the local hospitals. So you don't have to worry about any funny business. Because, we don't like funny business here. So, again, December 9th, that is a Friday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 777 Sproul Road, the Delco Group offices, Springfield Ale House, Giant, Staples. You know what's there. Everybody come out and help. Thank you.
And then also, don't forget Dolan's Bar down there on 24 East Sellers Ave in Ridley Park is getting ready to kick off their December to Remember. A lot of good stuff coming up for them throughout the month. December 2nd, Ziggy and the Moondogs. December 3rd, the real Cones. December 16th, Christmas Tabernacle Choir with Dirty Christmas Carols. And don't forget, they have $8 cheesesteaks, wing cheesesteak, memorable giveaways on every Eagles game. So make sure you're making Dolan's a part of your holiday season destinations. And go ahead and check them out. All the things they got going on through the month of December as we kick off the holidays here in the Delaware Valley. Philly Sports Trips, what can I say? I think the New York trip is sold out. Chicago trip might be sold out. I know the Dallas trip isn't, but it's kind of a hard one to get there on the Christmas Eve. But you know what? That would be a hell of a surprise Christmas present for somebody in your life who's an Eagle fan. Head over to PhillySportsTrips.com. Check out all they got to offer. Don't forget Flyers, Sixers, and Philly stuff as well. Head over there. And don't forget the home tailgates they have at the Gatehouse, aka the Navy Yard. And there's Dave Cherry. Workman's Comp, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, and criminal law. Dave Cherry, 610-565-0300. Tell him clear the ice and Manny B sent you. So there we have it, folks. 3-1 Flyers. Hell of a win tonight. Scott Lawton back in the lineup. Carter Hart played well. The Flyers played well as a team. They showed great character, answering the bell with those fights to kind of start the game. And got the most important thing out of this thing, which was 2 points, ending the 10-game winless streak and then starting themselves, hopefully, on the road to retribution. Next up, Tampa Bay Lightning on Thursday, and then the Devils on Saturday. So it's not going to get any easier as the Flyers attempt to pull themselves out of the skid. Scott Laughton was back tonight. Expect Cam Atkinson back in the lineup on Thursday to make his season debut. and then hopefully, potentially, Travis Konechny and James Van Riemsdyk right behind those two as we move into the month of December. And maybe, just maybe, we can put together 4 actual NHL hockey lines to go out there on a night-to-night basis and try to compete better and maybe get some goals and get some wins. Folks, until we talk after the the Lightning game on Thursday, enjoy the rest of your night, and let's go Flyers.